Hello, we are an NCS group made up of 13 girls. We believe that there isn't enough sex and relationship education in schools. So we're campaigning that the subject will be taken more seriously in lessons and that it's nothing to be embarrassed about. In this video we will be interviewing youths of Sheffield about their experience in relationship education at schools. Follow me. What would you rate your sex and relationship education at school out of 10?
I would rate it as a 3. It happened, but it wasn't very informative, and then it only gave one's perspective, so it only talked about straight relationships, didn't talk about any other of the queer sort of side of it as well.
So I'd rate it like probably a 4 because it wasn't very detailed. We didn't get taught much stuff.
All out of 10.
10. 0. 5.
Why 0?
Because we never got to all.
Out of 10.
I would say it's probably a 5 because we didn't get taught that much, to be honest.
Okay. Do you think there was enough sex and relationship education at your school?
I think there was, yes.
Okay. Would you explain how much there was and like?
We had a PE lesson every week and had like a term of sex and relationships education
At your school?
No, I don't think so.
Why?
Because we didn't really get taught a lot about kind of seeing signs of unhealthy relationships, talking about abuse and stuff like that. So we kind of touched on the basics and we didn't really go into stuff that's really useful.
Did you learn all about consent or was it literally just about what sex is?
We did learn about consent, and I think that's the one thing that was done well at my school.
I think in later years there was, but then when we got to year 9 we just stopped, we didn't do any lessons after that.
So that's like the
So,
more important years
yeah,
that
it
need
was.
to be known.
Especially about relationships and that.
Do you think they should educate students about what a healthy and an unhealthy relationship looks like?
Only when they're further on in like secondary school, like year 9 or year 10 or something, not the younger years because they wouldn't take it seriously.
I think, yeah, definitely, yeah, because I think a lot of people get into it and then don't know what to do to get out and stuff.
I think they should, but I think they should focus on healthy relationships rather than unhealthy.
Do you think primary schools should teach about sex and relationship education?
Yeah, I think they should. Maybe not like the really
In
intense
depth.
stuff, but like how talking about like consent and like maybe like good and bad touch so people understand what is like sexual abuse, etc. Because a lot of the time people who are 4 or 5 don't know what sex is, so if they're being sexually abused they don't know.
In a very generalised and safe way, because like I said, if you do it too young, it'll cause more damage, and you should still do it, but not in a simplistic way, sort of thing.
What's your opinion about doing it about the LGBT as well, instead of teaching them about more of the diverse couples instead of what the norm is?
Like within primary schools?
Yeah.
Because
Because a lot of parents try to stray their kids learning about that stuff, but do you think they should learn about it at an early stage?
with LGBT especially, because that's such a big commitment for someone to come out and say, I'm part of LGBT, I'm not straight, I'm gay, I'm bisexual, I'm pansexual. So I think that specific area should be left to a later date.
How often do you think a lesson should be a year?
A year. Quite a few times. I don't know. I don't.
So like once a week or
Yeah,
once a
probably
month?
Probably once a week because then you have the opportunity to cover a lot of stuff.
Like a year. Should be every like 2 lessons maybe every 2 weeks, so like a lesson a week or something.
Hi, so for this part of the video we're going to be interviewing a charity in Sheffield who provide and give support for members of the public in Sheffield. Let's go meet them. Hello, would you be able to introduce yourself to everybody please?
Yeah, I'm Jasmine and I was a volunteer for PASH, which is peer activities and sexual health, working with the sexual health services in Sheffield.
Okay, so what do you do at this charity and what kind of support and advice do you provide?
So as a peer mentor, I go out into schools, into the community and talk to people who are similar to my age and younger about sexual health mostly, but also about relationships, going into schools and doing workshops for them as part of their sex and relationship education. And what I teach is what the school requests.
Okay, Do you think there is enough sex and relationship education in schools?
No. I think it depends on the school. Some schools do it incredibly well. Schools that use our organisation, for our input, I know have some good education, but I don't know what they're doing the rest of the year. And some schools do it as like a suspended timetable day where they'll teach it once a year but only over one day. Really depends on the school, and I think it's very inconsistent.
So now I'm going to talk about my experience of sexual education and relationships. I went to a Catholic high school and we didn't learn much about contraception or anything like that. We only had like one day in year 9 and a few biology classes. We hope this video has been really informative for you and that you'll take this information and spread the word of R.Ed. And R.Ed stands for Relationship Education, and that's what we stand and believe for. Thank you.